Hello, and welcome to the Of Myths and Men podcast, the only podcast to wish the listeners of all religions a happy St. Nick's Day, because St. Nick's Day transcends all religions. Unfortunately, Dylan was unable to host today, so moving up in the world to fill in his role, we have the saintiest man I know, Valia Chahodar.
Can I talk now?
Yeah.
Hey, everyone.
How's it being a co-host this week?
Hey, everyone.
Alright, still working on it, I see.
Hi, hey.
And as our very
You guys all
special...
good?
And as our very special guest, the nickiest man I know, and our once-in-a-lifetime guest star, Dylan Blumenberg.
Did you say the nickiest?
Nickiest, because he was the saintiest, you're the nickiest.
Oh, okay.
Let me just apologize for that intro, guys. It's my first time hosting. I was nervous. It's a big step up. Don't worry about what Dylan has to say, though. He's third host now.
So, does this come with a pay cut?
Again. No.
Oh, okay.
It's hard to cut from zero.
That's true. I pay you $5 every month.
I get paid in BJs from the reviewers.
Oh.
What are you up to now? 12? 13?
BJs?
Yeah.
Half.
A half of one?
Waiting for the person to come back and finish it off in a couple weeks. They're on vacation.
Our podcast brings together three unknowledgeable individuals who spend a day pretending to be experts on mythology. Each week, we will discuss a different god or creature, rotating out the lead mythologist. We will discuss its habits, its attitudes, we will tell a tale, and we will end on a debate on who would win in a mythological fight club. And today's lead mythologist will be our guest star, Dylan Blumenberg.
Hey guys, this is my first time on, bringing a very special one. It's the Chinese cow-like creature, Bai Ze. You ever heard of this thing?
I speak Mandarin, so I have heard of this thing.
Well, you're in luck then,
not.
because it also has a Mandarin and a Japanese name. The Japanese name is Hakutaku
Nice.
or Kutabi.
Let me ask you a question right off the bat.
Get on it.
Correct me if I'm wrong here. I've heard that that's also a Japanese street food where you take a broiled bull's penis. Is that right?
I've never heard of this, but where'd you have this? Was this a prank show?
Little Japan in Wisconsin.
Really?
Yeah.
Come on, Waffle, cut it out.
Yeah.
She's pouncing on me.
Probably thinks I'm right.
Yeah, she's probably wanting to get up on this mic.
Now, is that correct?
I've never had it, but I wouldn't be surprised. I don't know what this has to do with what I was talking about, to be honest. I don't remember what you were saying.
The Hakutaku?
Yeah.
I had that meal before at a Mexican restaurant near here.
That's one of your favorite meals, isn't it, Adam?
Haku tacos? Yeah.
Just bull's penis?
Oh no, this was a taco
Broiled.
with a bull's penis
okay.
inside.
No seasoning.
Just raw.
It's not raw, it's broiled.
Still attached.
Yeah. Yeah, it just dips it into a pot.
So this guy, it's a Chinese holy beast, but in Japanese, it's like basically the exact same thing. I found no reason why they have the same thing, just named different. But whatever. It translates to white marsh in Chinese, and it's a chimera-like creature that looks like a white ox, except it's gigantic, like mountain-sized. This thing is super big. It has 9 eyes. Can you guess where
What
3
mountain?
of the eyes are? Any mountain.
Anus.
Nope. Good guess.
On its bull dick.
Nope, it doesn't have one actually.
I'm going to guess like one is on its right shoulder and one is on its left shoulder.
That's close. It's got 3 on its head, which is like a man's head. And then on either side of its torso, it's got kind of another head. And it's got 3 eyes on each side of its head.
What about the other head?
Well, it's got 3, like technically 3 heads. So look at that picture there.
How many heads would it take to to just get a trifecta going?
I think only 3. because that's what that means, right?
That doesn't.
What are you talking? A trifecta of what?
Just like a trifecta.
Yeah, sure. I'll give you that.
Yeah.
I guess this would be a good time.
I'll let you define. I'll let the audience define trifecta.
Special thanks to Matthew Meyer for drawing this picture and a lot of this info.
Where's the third?
Yokai.com. It's on the other side of its body, Adam.
Oh, it's hidden?
What are you, taking stupid pills? So it's got 3 heads and 17 mustaches.
I can't help it that you gave them to me.
Got him. 17 mustaches. It's debated on how many mustaches it has. Some people say 33. Others say like 12.
In this picture, most of them look just like a line, so it just looks like hair. It's not specifically a mustache individually attached, and then there's a mustache next to it.
I feel like, isn't the mustache supposed to be above the lip?
Well, I mean, that's kind of semantics, isn't it? You can put a mustache anywhere.
I mean, then, like, wouldn't you just call your armpit hair mustache?
What if you put a mustache above your belly button? Does that count?
What if your closet has a mustache on it? Huh?
I wouldn't trust that closet.
What if you got a ladle and it's got 2 mustaches on it? What happens then?
What side do you scoop from?
What if you put a handle on a mustache? Is it a ladle?
It's got to be. Dude, that'll catch so much soup.
Back to this.
Yeah.
How many mouths does it have? 3?
It has 1 mouth.
1 mouth. So the heads on the side don't even have mouths?
No, just eyes.
So then it
and
can
horns.
only have 1 mustache.
Do the eyes work? Like they actually...
Let's agree to disagree. Yeah, all the eyes work.
Are you sure one of them doesn't have glaucoma?
Yeah, well, I'll get into that later, but yes,
if it
they all
smokes
work.
weed, do
Perfect
just one
vision.
set of eyes go red?
They would all go red. I know this from experience.
You smoke a lot of Camel cigarettes?
No, I hang out with the Bai Ze a lot.
Oh, nice. Nice.
The
You've been to Colorado?
Haku Taku. So it's got 6 horns, 2 on each head. Do you want to debate that also, Adam?
Oh no, that makes sense.
All right.
How
The
does
mustache
I
thing
feel
doesn't.
like
Each
do
horn
the
has
heads have
6
necks?
mustaches.
What was that, Falia?
If it has 3 heads, does each head have a neck with it so it actually attaches out, or is it just flat
No.
on its body?
Well, look at the picture. It's flat on there.
Okay. Because those horns look like they could also cause issues with it, like doing certain things, but maybe not.
Not sure what you mean. But you
Like
can
running.
clearly see these mustaches on its feet.
Okay.
This
I
just
mean,
looks
what are
like
you talking
hair.
about?
It's
It's
just
got a
hair
mustache on
It's
tail.
just a hair if it's on its...
On-
Yeah.
On the underside of its tail.
I give up this argument.
Dude. It's got mustaches above its eyes.
That's just eyebrows.
You're insane.
It's got
I have no idea what
mustaches
you're
on its
talking
head.
about. So, someone described this as a mythical creature whose body resembles a hand and whose head is human.
A hand?
I was looking for your help on what the fuck that means. Anyone know?
Can you repeat it?
A mythical creature whose body resembles a hand and whose head is human.
So, are the feet the fingers and the tail is the thumb?
Nope. I have no idea, but I'm going to say no. I'm going to say this is not a Smash creature also. It doesn't appear in the Super Smash series.
I've never seen it. Yeah, I've never faced it as the final boss on Final Destination map. No items.
That's its brother you're talking about. No items specifically.
I'm doing that.
I'm at
next
a
time.
loss.
Let me help you with that, Valia. Co-host Valia. These Bai Ze, or Haku Taku, they're known to be signs of extremely good luck and good omens. Interestingly, they only show up in countries with good rulers. What do you think of that?
I think we won't see one for a while.
What's a good ruler? What defines a good ruler?
It has to be pretty straight and be exactly 12 inches.
Oh, I accidentally muted my mic and didn't hear anything you said except for straight and 12 inches.
I was talking about my dick.
Oh, I thought you were talking about Donald Trump's fucking nose.
No, Valia asked what makes a good ruler, and I said it has to be straight and exactly 12 inches.
What about a yardstick?
That's
I
not a
enjoy
good
good
ruler.
yardstick.
That's a good yardstick.
What about a good measuring tape?
It has to be straight and however long measuring tape is. Like what? What do they go
What about
now?
Like 50
36
inches?
feet?
Who knows?
What about like one of those you use for like measuring your waist and stuff? They're like stretchy and like they'll go around your body and shit. They're loose.
Those are good.
Those
I
are
like
only
those.
good if they're elastic, because then you can lie better.
I got you. I like to lie.
My pants don't lie.
My real name is actually Gregory House. I'm a TV doctor.
Is that his first name?
Don't
Gregory?
look me up. Don't Google me. It's a real thing. Don't. It's a small show. No one's watched. It's not available anywhere. Don't Google me. Yes, that is my real name. It's Gregory.
It's a pretty good name.
Don't Google.
What type of doctor are you?
Don't Google. I'm a freaking diagnostician. Diagnostician.
Now, Adam, I don't know much about doctors, but that doesn't sound real to me.
It's real. I've diagnosed some of the rarest diseases in the world, all in within 1 hour time span with commercials. All right at the end, I magically combined everything together, and then I got it the right solution to fix this idiot's disease. Don't Google me though. I'm not very well known. You can't find me.
Uh-oh.
Don't. That's a different one. He's not a doctor.
Do you have a cane by chance?
I don't have a. It's not a cane. It's a walking stick. You dumb idiot.
These Haku Taku can speak human languages and are known to be extremely intelligent. Some sources say they know everything in the world.
Really?
Really?
So, in theory, let's say there were a fight. In a fight, they would know everything that the person was good and bad at by default?
Past, present, and future.
Would they know what they're going to do then?
Well, I mean, let's not get into the topic of free will, Adam, but...
Yes. Episode 100, we'll talk about the mythology behind free will.
Yeah.
Here, I'll answer that. It doesn't exist. Everything you just did was planned by God and Jesus Christ, his son.
Thanks, God.
And I,
Been having
his
a good
savior.
time. Maybe,
Evolution is a myth. Charles Darwin was a drunk. Your mom sucks dick.
Well, 2 out of 3 of those are true.
The Darwin
I
one?
know the last one is.
Whoa. Wait, about your mom?
No, your mom.
The listener's mom.
Don't talk about your mother that way.
Don't insult the listeners' mothers.
They can take it. It's fine. They're strong-willed.
Yeah, though,
Go
for
on.
real. Past, present, future. They know everything that ever was and ever will be. So there's that. I don't
They're
know
still
how.
not as smart as Quetzalcoatl.
I don't know how that's gonna play into these fights coming up here. I think they would be though.
No,
I think
they can't.
this-
I bet they can't even pronounce Klaus Ticklety.
Probably not. Because they
How is
don't
he
need
so
to.
smart? Just naturally just knows everything? Or does he actually have
Yeah,
to learn
it's
it and he
just-
picks it up automatically?
Well, I read one thing in a old text that said it was extremely well read. But yeah, it's just like famously. It's like, what's that word?
He's a nerd.
What's the word? Omniscient.
Omniscient?
No, omniscient.
Learn how to speak fucking Spanish, you dipweed.
That's my favorite
Knowing
writing
everything.
style in novels.
Is it?
Onomatopoeia?
Omniscient. Just get to
No,
know
it's
everything.
Omniscient.
I think it's amnesia. I think it's how it's pronounced.
Amnesia.
It's
So it
the
just,
highest rank
for
in the
fuck's
Ivy League.
sake, it knows everything. It's also said to be able to ward off disease, any disease of any kind. There's stories of, well, I don't know. This kind of gets into a story that I had, but we can do another one. Basically, there's a town that was going to get attacked by this disease. Attacked being the key word there, the correct word. And this Bai Ze was just like, no, guys, you're all good. You've been good people. It's like a Santa for Christmas, except for instead of presents, they don't die.
I feel like that is a present in itself.
Yeah, it's the best gift you can get.
You could say this guy is just like Saint Nick.
But then, in all reality, shouldn't we all be having the best present every time we wake up in the morning?
Yeah, but we're indulgent assholes.
Yeah, and it kind of like wears thin, you know?
You're getting too optimistic.
Every time I wake up, it's just less and less exciting.
See, when I wake up, I know it's going to be the one who wakes up next to you.
Do you have a halo on your four-post bed?
Because, like, I'd probably walk 1,000 miles.
God, I hate that song. You know, one time someone told me I looked like I was in that band. And
That's a band?
Yeah, what the fuck's that band? The
Progenitors.
The what? What is it?
Progenitors.
Are you sure?
Yeah, absolutely not.
Oh, okay. It's like
I 100% believed you.
the Proclaimers.
I was like, yeah, that sounds right.
Proclaimers, that's it.
But someone told me I look like I could be in the Proclaimers, and I took that as an insult. That fucking band is so shitty.
Are they all black and tall?
No, just like tall, nerdy looking dudes with glasses. I guess whatever. That's what I am. But so
I like that. That's the trace. Like, you must be in that band because
Yeah.
you have two things that these guys have.
I look like I could be in Weezer in the 90s. You know?
People tell me I look like I could be in movies because I was.
Really? What movie were you in?
Max Keeble's Big Move.
No shit. I hate that movie.
Good movie. Just give it another chance.
I've given it too many chances. 2 more facts on this thing before we can get into the story. Its fur can't be destroyed by any means. Can't be burned or anything like that. They do specify it can be cut off. So I guess that's a loophole. Also, this thing is immortal.
It's immortal?
Yep.
That was a silence to react to that.
You writing that on the stat sheet, Adam?
So
10 for intelligence, 10 for durability.
I feel like it would definitely get 10 for durability.
All right. Mark it down. That's all I got for facts. Oh, also, when I was looking this thing up, as with everything else, found a lot of questionable deviant art of this thing. Looking unusually sexy. What's the deal with that?
Post it.
What's the deal with
sexy
creatures
deviant art
looking
pic?
sexy?
Mythology was created through an early form of storytelling, so we like to spend a bit of time delving into a tale that involves our subject. We will be a little bit more in-depth with analyzation to better understand the story, and each week you'll have a tale to bring home to tell your mustached significant other and their mustached eyes. You can say it right as you look into their mustached eyes.
Yep.
Or as you're rubbing their mustached tum-tum.
What about these eyes? These eyes.
Crying. These eyes have seen a lot of love, but they're never gonna see another one like they have with you.
Sing it. Is that another one of those guys? The guys that did the other song I did earlier? Is that one of their songs? Yeah. The Regenimix?
Progenitors.
The
What you call it? The
Progenitors.
Regenimix?
Yeah.
Is that a blender company?
Probably. I don't know the name of the band, man. I don't know bands. I only listen to
Top
high
40s?
scale. Yeah, I only listen to top 40s radio and high scale hip hop, like Drake.
I only listen to lo-fi and mathcore. So, one of the most famous accounts of Haku Taku comes from the legendary Yellow Emperor of China. No, I'm not making that up. The emperor was...
That's
so,
racist.
hold on. Let me see when he was around. He was around from 2697 to 2597 BCE in China. The emperor was performing an imperial tour of his lands, and in the east near the sea, he climbed a mountain and encountered a Hakutaku. The The two spoke, and the Hakutaku told the emperor that in all creation there were 11,520 different kinds of yokai. Yokai are like other mythical creatures. The emperor and his subordinates recorded everything the Hakutaku said, and it was preserved in a volume known as the Hakutaku Ze, or Zoo. This volume recorded each kind of yokai, along with what kinds of evils they do and disasters they bring, as well as how to deal with them. A sort of demonic disaster manual. Unfortunately, the Hakutaku was lost long ago, and no surviving copies exist.
Oh, no.
So
was it lost at the mall? Did it get separated from its parent?
No, I have it in my parents' attic, but I don't want to go over there and eat dinner with them when I go
the
get
Hakutaku?
The Hakutaku Zoo, the book.
Yeah, no, I'm asking, you said the Hakutaku was lost long ago.
Oh, no, he's fine. Sorry, the Hakutaku Zoo was lost long ago.
And the Hakutaku doesn't want to make another zoo?
Yeah, he can't write per se because he doesn't have thumbs. But
that
if
just
someone
seems
was
like
willing to record
a
it
huge
for him,
disadvantage.
Yeah, I mean, he's the smartest being to ever exist. You ever watch Star
Except
Trek,
for
Adam?
Quetzalcoatl.
The Q? You know the Q?
Star Trek's the one with the brooms and the kids with the Hogwarts, right?
Yeah, that one. And Harry Potter and, the Sorcerer's Stone and type of thing.
What's Harry Potter?
It's that movie with, Max Keeble
with
in
Emma
it.
Stone, I got
But
you.
he goes to
Emma
a different
Stone's
school and...
Max Keeble's Big Move 2, Electric Big Move 2.
Weekend at Bernie's too. Oh, man. I can't believe they made a second one. So anyway, the Hakutaku Zoo, to reiterate, was lost long ago. The book that the Yellow Emperor's subordinates wrote.
I feel like that'd be a really interesting read.
Dude, it's all on yokai.com if you look it up.
I'm going to add it to my Goodreads.
Thanks to Matthew Meyer.
One of the things people love to debate about is who would win in a fight. Would it be...
Tits McGee.
Or...
Ron Burgundy.
So fun fact, total stop. I name my rival Tits McGee every chance I get in Pokemon.
Dude, fucking nice. Good choice.
That's awesome.
What do
I
you
never
name
think
yourself?
of that shit.
Me neither.
Pokemon trainer Tits McGee or who's Ron Burgundy?
Yeah. I'm going to say probably Tits McGee because she was smarter.
And I'm Tits McGee.
So in our Fight Club section, we indulge ourselves and talk about who would win in a mythological fight to the death. We will pit this week's subject against one we discussed in an earlier podcast with our lead mythologist, Dylan, defending the creature. And he can challenge either myself or Valia.
I'm going to challenge Adam.
So let's go over some stats quick on this creature.
Okay. Fucking stat it
Strength.
up, dude.
Probably not the highest strength. Granted, this thing is gigantic.
I feel like its giant size definitely gives it some advantage to strength.
I'm going to go 5.
I was also thinking
a 7 or an 8. Should we meet
I'm
in the middle?
thinking 2 or 3.
6. All right.
I'm kidding.
Jesus.
I'm kidding. I would go in the middle, 6.
All right. I'll take a 6.
I think a 4.
Speed. I didn't hear anything about its speed.
It's just a giant cow. I don't think it's very fast.
Yeah, being giant does not help that situation. Or being of the bovine ilk.
Yeah, I mean, you see matadors easily dive out of the way of bulls all the time.
Those bulls are pretty fucking fast, though.
I've seen bulls dive out of the way of matadors.
They just don't have a good turning radius like my John Deere tractor trailer.
Are we sponsored now? Are we getting paid?
This episode brought to you by John Deere.
Next time you want to cut your lawn in the winter, use a John Deere because it'll
cut right through that ice.
Yeah,
those blades will rust,
covered.
but you can get new ones.
Yeah, because it's John Deere and it's definitely interchangeable with other John Deeres.
I feel like, so it might be able to go kind of fast in a straight line, but not any kind of mobility turning wise. I feel like those kind of counteract each other.
Sure.
I would say a 3.
I was thinking 3 or 4. I'll take a 3.
Intelligence, 2.
10 out of 10.
Yeah, it said
No
it was the
question.
smartest A little bitch in the sea.
I'm still going to argue 2.
Polly, what say you?
I
I mean, the sea's a pretty big place.
I heard little bitch smartest sea 10.
A 9? Oh, never
It has
mind.
to be a 10 because Tooth Fairies or Jormungandr is a 10.
I mean,
for intelligence?
Yeah. Because Dylan said it knows everything, right?
it knows everything ever. It knew we were going to do this thing
That's
about
a
it.
fucking 11 then.
Yeah, it's true.
Well, Quetzalcoatl was kind of the same way.
Well,
It it invented learning and knew everything.
You had mentioned that though. I don't remember that.
I definitely mentioned that it invented learning.
I did the creature and I definitely didn't say that.
And I also said that it had the highest IQ of anything ever.
if something says it's the smartest thing in this world, do you consider the world to be Earth or the universe?
Earth.
All right.
Man,
Still
our stats
counts.
don't make sense then. We have so many 10s like for other creatures that don't deserve them, and these
Well,
two do that.
Yeah,
Eh.
I mean, yeah, it's a floating scale.
Nothing else has a 10 intelligence.
But like the
Besides
Leshen has
Quetzal
a
and
10 for durability. In hindsight,
Hermes
that
has a
seems
10.
kind of high.
Leshen has a 10. Oh,
that does seem kind of high. But I mean it's also a godlike creature.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fine.
I've been saying gods because they're basically immortal get 10. Bai Ze, you can give it a fur cut, so I said 9.
But like it's still, yeah, like I don't disagree, but like just for reference, that thing is still immortal
I know.
without its
I'm
fur.
kidding. I think it's a 10. If it's immortal, it's a 10. Because it has some pretty good durability. What are its vulnerabilities? That its fur can get cut?
Yeah, I guess. Besides that,
It doesn't know where it belongs because it's of
Nothing.
Asian and of multiple Asian nations' descent. So it's kind of
Yeah.
like insecure in its mental state.
It's also kind of racist because it called a Chinese lord ruler.
the yellow emperor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that a weakness racism?
Yes.
I think if it's that smart, we're probably just all wrong.
I mean, I've heard often that the South will rise again, and those guys seem right. So,
Yeah. And they have big trucks, so, you know.
I mean, the president is one of them. So, have you ever been president? I don't think so, libtard. I took that to a place that did not need to go.
Too far, Valia. Too far. You're not welcome back as
All the
co-host.
snowflakes are
I
gonna
guess I'll be
message me.
making my glorious return next week.
On
Are
the,
any other weaknesses?
Racism.
Vulnerabilities?
I don't think like. I mean, is being too smart for its own good a weakness? Quite possibly.
Sure.
Who knows?
I feel
sure
like
as hell
that's
don't.
just you taking a strength and saying it's a weakness.
Sure.
Just give it a fucking 10 and let's go.
We already have a 10. We're doing vulnerabilities.
I know. I'm saying its vulnerabilities are 10s. Now let's go.
So, for reference, it's
No,
got
I'm
a
kidding.
29 out of 40. What else? Does anything else have a 29? Epona has a
Leshen
29.
and Epona.
There you go.
I think your mom also has 29.
In the vagine.
It's gross, man.
It is gross.
Vaginas are nasty.
So Bai Ze, it has a strength of 6, a speed of 3, an intelligence of 10, a durability of 10, for a grand total of 29.
Hold on.
Its
Let me get my
vulnerabilities?
calculator out. Let me just
29.
confirm this. Plus 3, plus 10, plus 10. Yes, that is correct.
This math check brought to you by QuickBooks.
John Deere.
Brought to you by Pennzoil. If you need something to water your food, Pennzoil.
Also by Trapezoids Are Fun. The song.
Is it on
Its
iTunes?
vulnerabilities
Go ahead.
are cuttable fur and racism. And its specials are it can ward off disease, it has indestructible fur, and it is immortal. Which I guess is the reason it has a 10. So I'm gonna
Who
remove
isn't
immortal.
these days, though? I mean, let's be real. Unimmortal people or mortal people, you know what I'm talking
Take a
about.
break.
Take a break.
Alright. Give me that creatch.
What do you got, Molly?
Here's what you're gonna fight. All right, you're gonna fight Medusa and oh no, I'm gonna make it 1-on-1. You're gonna fight. So we got Leshen and we've got Epona. You're gonna do the Leshen. Or no, it's Leshen. Yeah, Leshen has 29. You're gonna fight the Leshen.
Also do Furfur. Might be a little lower.
I don't want to do Furfur. That's lower. I want to do even.
Oh, so this thing has lightning abilities.
Would you say, Adam?
I was gonna say we just used Leshen and Furfur last episode, or Leshen and Epona last episode.
But against a stronger creature.
Oh
yeah, let me do this.
Wait,
then.
are you saying Bai Ze has lightning abilities?
Yeah, if you look at the wiki for some Japanese game.
What?
There's some... Never mind.
Alright, here's what we're going to do instead. You're going to do Medusa and the Hellhound. Medusa and the Hellhound tearing it up, driving together.
I believe they
to the
teamed up to
forest.
face off against Harpy.
Yeah, I feel like you've chosen this combo before.
Fine.
You are really good at choosing the exact same combos we've already done.
The Hellhound is a pretty common foe.
Kraken and Tooth Fairy. Are you happy, you pieces of shit?
What was that?
Kraken and Tooth Fairy.
Alright, Kraken can kind of match its
Kraken
size.
and Tooth Fairy delivering tooths to the little children all the world.
Wait, who's delivering the teeth? The Kraken. It's got to be, right?
It's the both of them.
But
the Tooth Fairy collects them, gives them to the Kraken delivers them.
You
They're together. They stay together.
That doesn't... Okay.
Don't worry about it.
I'm
It
worried.
makes sense when you think about it.
Set the scene, Falia.
Daybreak. You see a Kraken and a Tooth Fairy delivering a tooth. They're traveling around the world together. It's daybreak. They see Bai Ze around the corner of the Abbey. He's sitting at a Starbucks reading
What's he reading?
Chicken Soup for the Teenage Soul.
Dude, fucking good choice.
He's on chapter 7.
That's my favorite chapter.
Page 18 of chapter 7. They walk up and interrupt and go, "Are you reading Chicken Soup?" And he goes, "Yeah." They're like, "Which one?" And he goes, "Teenage Soul." And they're like, "That's the worst fucking one ever." And he gets mad, and then they agree to duke it out in combat, and they walk to a nearby professional wrestling ring. That's because it's old time Abbey, England, but there's the Chicken Soup for the Teenage Soul anyway, and they fight in this old timey ring.
Let me ask you this:
Yeah.
if you know everything, never mind. Go ahead. I answered that question while asking it.
Alright, I'll let you do the trash talking first.
Prepare to die.
That's just gas coming out of his ass, and I ain't talking about his butt.
That's so clever.
That's what Tooth Fairy says.
Man, Tooth Fairy
Kraken
has pretty low
successfully
intelligence,
say
right?
that.
Kraken says...
Kraken ends up saying an exact quote from the Bible: "Thou shalt not smite me." Roll the 2. This is the opposite of that.
We did not go over stats.
All right.
Okay, so to quickly go over the stats for the Kraken and the Tooth Fairy. The Tooth Fairy has a strength of 4, a speed of 3, an intelligence of 3, and a durability of 6. And the Kraken has a strength of 8, a speed of 3, an intelligence of 2, and a durability of 8. So the Kraken is weak to dismemberment and harpoons, but it has some specials like whirlpool, bubble, and island making. Whereas the Tooth Fairy is vulnerable to like sugar and soda, but it has a special detoother wand. Alright, Dylan's making the first move. Go for it.
So, just trample the hell out of
You're
this
gonna
Tooth
trample
Fairy.
me.
Yeah. Well,
I
not
called
you,
it.
but the tooth fairy.
I know everything too.
What?
So as you attempt to trample, you lift one of your legs up to trample, and then because you're on 3 legs, you just stumble and fall flat on your stomach, and there's a rock on the ground, and you slightly impale yourself with the rock, and it hurts pretty bad.
What the fuck? Did I roll a 1?
Roll a 3.
Oh, jeez.
I question why there is a rock in this WWE wrestling arena.
WWE? I thought we were at Jimmy John's.
It's because it's old timey, and they didn't clean it. There's fucking blood everywhere. It's it's an old timey one because this is like the 1300s, but he still had chicken soup, and it was an abbey, and it was an arena.
Alright, so we do our action poses like you would see kind of in a video game boss fight.
Like the Ginyu Force.
Yeah, a little bit, yes, but there's only 2 of us. So the Tooth Fairy holds his Detoother wand up in a pose that's kind of Jedi-like, and then the Kraken is behind him with the tentacles all coming around, a little bit around him, and then they do that action pose, and they're like, let's do this.
You successfully do all that.
Good.
Congrats.
And then, as this fool is on his tum-tum, the Tooth Fairy, using its wings, just takes to the air and dives down with a smash of the Detoother wand, trying to detooth this thing, while the Kraken is entangling it with its tentacles to hold it still.
So, yep, you successfully do the action with the Tooth Fairy, and you straight up try to impale the thing with your Detoother wand to detooth it. Impale isn't the right word. What's the right word?
Smack.
Sure, you smack it, but then the Kraken basically just grabs a hold, and then that's it. It doesn't do anything. It just kind of grabs, and you're in a hold now, essentially. The Lao Tse, whatever it is, Bai Ze, is in a hold.
You're kind of being held. Kraken?
Huh? Smacking the Kraken. That's what I call wanking it.
Oh, that's uncouth.
So did I detooth it?
You did successfully, yeah.
Oh, nice.
Or what?
You didn't kill it. You just removed its teeth.
Yeah. No, it actually doesn't harm you. It just removes your teeth.
Yeah, and the mustaches that went along with the teeth.
Each mustache on each tooth?
Each tooth's mustache, yeah.
Nice. You are down 14 mustaches. That's how many teeth you have.
Survive it all.
Christ. That's too many mustaches. Alright. I do a double air attack and jump off the Kraken's face and onto the Tooth Fairy, stabbing with my horns.
Oh, so you slither out of the Kraken's hold, and you do jump off of its face, hurting it a little bit, but you miss the Tooth Fairy and just land back in the ring, Rod Van Dam style.
I thought you said we were in Jimmy John's.
Where are you getting Jimmy
No
John's
one said
from?
Jimmy John's.
You were talking about how you can get a free Jimmy John's drink with a combo if you use the offer code OMAM at checkout.
So what do you want to do, Kraken and Tooth's Fairy?
Okay.
What do you want to do with your life?
Let's try this. Tooth Fairy strikes an action pose and says, Kraken, use bubble! So the Kraken starts shooting these high speed, I'm guessing, projectile bubbles. I doubt they do too much direct damage, but I'm guessing the soap will get into your eyes a little bit and make you tear up, and it tastes bad. And while you're distracted by the bubbles, so you're pretty big, you're like mountain sized. So the Tooth Fairy is gonna go into the mouth while it kind of does like an and then get up into that esophagus and just tear it up with its tooth fingers and its tooth head and all the other teeth that are coming out of it. Just rip that esophagus apart.
So you successfully blow the bubbles, and they do impact the Bai Ze, where it's just like, no, there's bubbles around me. What do I do? I've never seen these, but he's super intelligent, so he's just like, I'll just close my eyes for a minute. Yeah, and then with your second attack, you basically just ram at it with the Tooth Fairy, but he just dodges. He's like like Jason Bourne style dodge, but not as cool and slower. And it's just kind of like, like anyone could have dodged that, bro. And then he just kind of looks at you disappointed.
I'm saddened.
You are
And
successfully saddened.
in my anger, I yell out, "Grow a mustache on your butt."
You successfully yell that out, and he actually does it. That's how successful you were. You rolled 220s on that
Oh,
successful
Jesus
mustache
Christ.
butt. So well done. All right, what do you want to do? Bite Ze? Do you want to bite it?
I jump in the air while spearing with each of my 6 horns to get this, whatchamacallit, this tooth fairy. Sure. And then I toss it with impressive strength at the kraken, hitting it right in the eyeball.
So you grab it and then you toss it, but not at all with impressive strength, and it just kind of flies and lands normally on the ground. But it's not hurt. But I spear it? You did not spear it. You just tossed it. You basically just skipped that part.
Huh?
You pretty much skipped the spear. You're just like, you know what? I'm already in the air. Might as well just grab it, toss it.
Come on.
Unimpressive strength.
You're a maniac.
Hey, I calls it how I sees it. Don't blame the ref. Blame the system. Occupy Wall Street, kids.
All right.
2015.
Bonus actions. I spit at the tooth fairy.
You just muster up some saliva and it just dribble like you spit, but it just dribbles out of your mouth and goes onto your body. Like, you know, when you've seen people do, just and just like.
And you're embarrassed.
Yeah, you're like, fuck, that was stupid.
Shit.
Shouldn't spit.
All right.
Can we?
So now the kraken
Go ahead.
is gonna get down to business. He's cracking down on this bullshit.
Heyo.
It starts slapping with all 8 tentacles right in the face, like trying to hit the eyes and stuff. So let's see, 3 of them. No, let's just do 4 in the front face, and then the other 2 or the other 4 will split into 2 groups and go on the sides and hit those ones. Trying to hit your eyes, distract you, make you close them, and then while you're like getting distracted by the kraken's slapping tentacles, the tooth fairy flies onto the back and just starts giving a bad haircut to make you so embarrassed that you forfeit the fight.
So you successfully do the tentacle slapping, and you actually rip out its eyes, like on this first head that you're slapping. You pretty much just ripped out the first 2 pairs of eyes. And you do some decent damage.
Isn't it 3?
Yeah, which
is it?
Which 2 eyes?
3 pairs of 3 eyes.
The front. You rip out all 3 eyes on the front.
Okay.
Yeah. So, and then you basically tried to cut its hair, but it's like the 1300s. There's no electricity, so you plug in this thing into a perfect
I was going to use my boot knife.
Too bad. So
okay.
You plug in
I didn't specify. It's valid.
You plug in this electric shaver into a socket that's there for some reason, even though there's no electricity. Try to turn it on, and there's nothing happening, and you're just like, okay, that's what you say.
So I summon
Sounds good.
Electricity.
Okay.
And
it's not one of your powers.
Strike the tooth fairy. But yeah, come on, Adam. You think I don't know how to fucking salt clouds? You, Jesus Christ, I know everything. So I summon electricity, strike the tooth fairy, and burn it to a crisp.
You successfully summon electricity, but it's just kind of static around the air. It does nothing.
I'll take that.
They're impressed. The tooth fairy's like, wow.
When I touch the shears that I was trying to cut your hair with, it zaps me a little, and I go, oh, shit.
Yeah, you could cut some hair with that if I plug that in and used it correctly.
And then I see the balloon that you were using.
You successfully see the balloon.
Alright, what's this limit at?
We're at like 6.
Jesus.
Speed it up. You chumps.
Is it my turn?
Alright.
No.
No, you just went.
Can I go again?
You sucked at summoning electricity. Fucking Ben Franklin over here.
You know, only queers and steers come from Texas.
Alright, the Kraken's going to use the bubble attack again, but what this Bai Ze has not noticed is that the Kraken gathered up its own teeth and like it's inside of its mouth now and is like shooting the teeth out with the bubbles, so that's like hidden inside the bubbles. And then when they pop, the tooth also hits and it starts shearing off bits of the fur to open up weak spots. Since the fur is indestructible, we got to get rid of that shit. And then the tooth fairy is just gonna run on its wheel to generate enough electricity to start up this shears again.
So you successfully fire off the bubbles, and they do generate a decent amount of gaps on the Bai Ze, and like you're basically shearing it off, and you also successfully generate enough electricity to power up your electric shaver.
Nice.
Congrats.
This will come in handy next turn.
This has been Advanced Dungeons & Dragons. I've been your Dungeon Master, Henry VIII, and you all have syphilis.
I slapped the electric razor out of the hand and then slapped the Kraken in the face.
Jesus. You attempt to slap the razor out of the hand, but instead you basically perfectly glide it, and it just cuts a fuck ton of your hair off.
God damn it.
And then you attempt to slap the Kraken, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So you attempt to slap the Kraken, and you slap the shit out of it. Like, you knock it out for a good 2 turns.
Alright.
Like, well done.
Stunned.
Basically.
Alright, this unlocks... Now the Tooth Fairy is mad because this guy's his buddy. Kraken's his buddy. So he pulls out his, like, not brass knuckles, they're made out of teeth. He pulls out 2 of those, and he just goes to town on those opening spots and just pummels them. And tries to tear open that skin, punch the ligaments directly.
Not the ligaments. Anything but the ligaments.
Yeah, going after those ligaments.
The ligaments are about to take this beating. So, you attempt to punch, and you hit one of the ligaments, but you just tire yourself out attempting to hit the others. For some reason, you kept aiming at the ligaments instead of just the gaps, which is weird. So you got one a little bit.
I was going to tear open the gaps and hit the ligaments in those gaps.
Well, you were...
I get it.
Like,
I tried
successful.
too many different spots.
Yeah, you're just bad at fighting, I think, is what the issue is.
It's true. I only beat up on kids and take their teeth.
Yeah.
I'm not good in
All right,
battle.
two turns left for both.
So I'm set to have the Kraken come in on the final fight, or final round.
Pretty much, you have one roll at the end if you don't die before that.
I make the observation that the Kraken and the Tooth Fairy are both diseases on this world, and destroy them.
You say that with the confidence of an anti-vaxxer posting something on Facebook.
A serial killer.
Yeah, where everyone's basically like,
and you shall be wiped from it.
You get a scientist basically reply to your post that's like, none of what you said is true, and they just expertly refute everything with facts, and then you basically reply to them saying, did I ask you, don't ever post on that thing. That's what happened.
But then I ward them from the world.
You ward them from the world? Is that like a move?
I can ward disease, so I can ward them.
So you attempt to ward the both of them, and you basically deteriorate their skin. So all the teeth are gone from the Tooth Fairy, and all the skin is all gone from the Kraken.
They gotta be
effectively
hurting.
Bones. Yeah, they're damaged pretty badly. They're still alive, but
are they hurting for a squirt?
Can I roll to have my Kraken wake up from that damage?
hurting for a squirt. Sure. You got to get. I'll roll 2 d20s. You got to get 120 out of these.
Like total?
No, one of them has to be a 20. I'm making it really hard.
Because it hurts so bad that he just awoke.
Yeah.
Being like, what the fuck?
You didn't.
I feel like if
do that.
all my skin got deteriorated off my body, I'd wake up real quick.
Well,
Man.
you're still stunned. You're not stunned like dead. You're stunned like, what's going on here? What do I do right now? Like you're conscious.
Okay, so only the teeth came off of the tooth fairy, though, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Alright, so the tooth fairy, he looks down, notices all his teeth are gone, and he screams. He's like, ah! My teeth!
You successfully scream.
Naked! And then, I guess, what should it do now?
Just say you win, and then I'll roll.
It tries to, it just like, full out attack, brings out the hamburger helper, and cooks it up to a real hot temperature, and just throws it down the mouth, and hopes it burns it up from the inside.
Oh, you make a bunch of the hamburger helper, and then it looks so tasty, you just eat it. So it doesn't do anything.
It helps me calm down.
You just kind of eat it. So you're full now, which is good.
I destroy the world and everything in it.
You attempt to destroy the world, instead you cut one of your legs off.
Oh, man. So I died?
You didn't die, you just cut one of your legs off.
But I really died, right?
No, I think, don't you have one more turn? Did I miscount that?
God damn it.
I think we each have one more turn.
Okay.
No, is that your last turn?
No, you each have one more turn because you started things, Adam. So yeah, your last turn is now, Adam. And
No, he started with trampling.
Oh, did he? Oh, that's right, he did. Okay, yeah, so that was your last
The
turn.
world has been destroyed.
You can still do a draw, so Adam's got one more roll if he wants it.
Destroy the world, Adam.
So
destroy the world.
The Kraken wakes up and it's like tortured right now.
Yeah.
So it just goes up on all 8 tentacles, comes up, and it just comes down with the force of like at least 100 squids all in one point because it has a beak, and just like tries to split it in half.
Yeah.
And then the Tooth Fairy runs up and is just slapping the eyeballs on one of the sides.
Oh my word. You, as the Kraken, you run up and do your thing. You end up just destroying your body as you come down because of the force that's applied to you. And then the Tooth Fairy attempts to do that, but because of all the hamburger helper, he just kind of falls flat and just like, I can't do this. And basically, all 3 except the Kraken is dead. Tooth Fairy and the Bai Ze just kind of walk away as they both have won, and they're just like, I'm just gonna go back to breeding.
Oh no, there can't be any one. There's got to be a final roll.
All right,
roll wins.
Last roll, since you both have one creature left.
Okay.
Highest roll wins.
I stab this Tooth Fairy with one horn on each head, and then move my head in such a way that it tears this thing in half.
Yeah, and what do you want to do, Adam?
How does it, I just have a quick question on the
Better not be about
logistics
mustaches.
of things. If there is no neck associated to your heads, how do you do that?
Well, I mean, does a
He
pig
can still
have
ram
a
his
neck?
body. Yeah, like he can run into you and ram the horn.
But you're doing one horn from each head.
Yeah, so
I feel like
if you look
can
at
only
this,
do 2.
If you look at this picture, you just like, I mean,
I guess
the
that
middle
has-
horn is
basically.
stationary. The horn on
the
the
tip
main
you're just
head.
getting essentially.
Yeah, is the one
Okay.
that's
Just the tip.
positioning.
Just for a second, just to see how. It goes.
You ram at me and I grab the horn.
No.
Well, no, you don't do that. I want to see one of you will have a successful action. So tell me your action, and I'll tell you who's actually gets it.
Okay, but it's still running at me at the same time.
Sure, yeah.
And I slip on, or I do like
You do a
on.
parry?
If you remember the movie Wanted,
Never.
I do.
Angelina Jolie's on the train,
Yeah.
and as the wall or the top parts come in, she just like leans backwards, knees all the way down, flat body, and then it goes right over her, and she doesn't
Good
get hurt.
scene. Yeah.
Yeah, so I do that, and it runs over me, and my combat knife that was in my boot, and therefore was protected from the tooth decaying thing, I pull that out and just slide it along the underbelly, goring it open.
Ugh. So your bull ram action successfully rams the Tooth Fairy, and Tooth Fairy dies.
Sick, bro.
Congratulations. You've just referenced Wanted, and I think more people should do it. So well done,
Overrated.
assholes. You rolled a 7 and he rolled a 16. The good news is you both, I think at one point, or no, only Adam rolled a 20 when it was just him talking, I think. What was it?
Yeah, I rolled 2 20s apparently.
Oh, great.
Yeah, that's right. You did it when it was just that mustache action. That's right.
Mustache
Grow a
action.
mustache on your ass.
That was good. That was a
On
waste
your
of two
butt.
20s. Otherwise, you
I
were
know, I
all
was very
rolling
sad.
very low, which was annoying. Like, it really makes this difficult, which is not what I was expecting. But in any case, congratulations, Dylan. Your creature is not horrible.
Thank you.
Yeah. You know what else isn't horrible? John Deere tractors.
Drive your John Deere tractor through the drive-thru of Jimmy John's to get half off of a cookie.
And half off your dignity.
Alright, so today we learned about the Bai Ze, or the Hakutaku. And we learned that it is basically a giant cow with a humanish face, has 3 heads, each head has 3 eyes. Do that math up, that's 9 eyeballs.
Let me get a calculator
And-
to just verify this. You said 3 heads times 2 eyes. That would be 6 eyeballs.
Adam, that's only 6 eyeballs. I don't know where you got 9 from.
But I said 3 eyes.
Yeah,
Let me
but
get
6
a
plus 6.
calculator out. So it's going to be
That's
3
12. I
eyeballs
don't know why.
times 3 heads. That's going to be 9 eyeballs. So you are correct, sir. Let
still
me get a
don't-
calculator out just to do one thing. So if you do the number 50,008 in if you do 5,008 in calculator and then you flip it over, check this out, mate. It says boobs.
5,008?
5,008. Oh no!
Wouldn't that just be booze?
50,000, you do 50,000.
Alright,
Adam, just keep...
5,000.
we learned that it knows everything. We talked a tale about how it made a Hakutaku zoo, and then that was lost. And we found out that the Hakutaku, or the Bai Ze, would narrowly defeat the Tooth Fairy and the Kraken in a battle to the death in an old-style wrestling rink.
Not a Jimmy John's.
You can find out all of this information and more by going to our website at mythsandmen.com or at normangander.com.
Or at
We have-
MySandman.com.
It's men.
My
sand-
Sandman.
Men.
That's what I said.
And you can listen to every podcast. You can read up on our wiki. You can find out more about your favorite podcast hosts. But actually not, I mean, unless we are your favorite. Then you can. But I don't know.
Not much.
If we beat
You can also pay to
what's
watch
his name?
Dylan
Big
eat
John
a dick
McCain.
on the site.
Check me out on myvids.com.
If you've enjoyed what you've heard and you think we did a good job in giving you a laugh or two, please take a moment to give us a rating and review on iTunes or Stitcher by going to itunes.mythsandmen.com or Stitcher at stitcher.mythsandmen.com. You can also give us ratings and reviews on any other site that allow it.
Even if we're not on a site, just write up a rating or review for us.
Yeah, like go onto Amazon,
Yeah.
buy a book, or if you don't like reading, buy a dildo and just put on there a review for our podcast.
Guys, check out this podcast while you're using this dildo.
And speaking of ratings and reviews, we also have a new one on iTunes from History Dude 1492. He says, fascinating and delightful. This podcast is educational, entertaining, and downright hilarious. I look forward to every new episode and highly recommend this podcast.
Wait,
How nice. Thank you very much.
that's for ours?
Yeah.
Wow.
You're so
Did
shocked.
you listen to it? Fair enough.
For updated news, follow us on Twitter at Myths and Men or on our Facebook page of Myths and Men. And you can find all links to our social medias, including our subreddit and our YouTube, in the show notes. And if you have a suggestion for a creature you think we should talk about, you can contact us through our website or leave your suggestion in a review. You can also tweet at us or post it on Facebook, I guess, too. And we hope to see you next week when we talk about something else.
Something else.
The music you heard on this podcast is called Call to Adventure by Kevin MacLeod from Incompetech.com. It is licensed under Creative Commons by Attribution 3.0 license.
So what's your favorite math course song? Is it Trapezoids Are Fun?
There's this band called Periphery, if we're being honest. Periphery's pretty fucking dope. Jesus. Is this supposed to help me learn?
Yeah, it's a trapezoid song to learn trapezoids.
I'll tell you what, I haven't learned shit besides
four
that.
even sides, right?
Fool can't rap.
No.
Two parallels?
Not really.
No, that's a parallelogram.
It has like four sides that close
A
in.
trapezoid is
square.
with 5. Man, I'm gonna piss off a lot. Trapezoids with 5 sides.
I don't think so,
Sometimes
that's
6
wrong.
if they're
A
parallel.
trapezoid has 5 sides unless it's Satan's trapezoid, then it's 6.
According to that song, it sounds like a trapezoid is basically a square.
Boy, I
Yeah.
couldn't understand anything that guy was saying.
Because you're
Alright.
a racist?
Yeah. Did you read the intro already?
Yeah, you can
Alright, here
tell
we
the
go.
tale now.